90.2% better, same model, same tools, same task. The only thing that changed was the org chart. That's the number that launched 1,000 architecture diagrams. Here's the one that didn't make the headline. That agent team burned about 15 times more tokens to get there, and token count alone explained roughly 80% of the difference. So, genuine architectural leap or just paying for more thinking and calling it teamwork? We're not going to answer that with theory. We're going to open up 3 systems that shipped this year, starting with the one you probably use today. Claude Code, Codex. If you write software, you are already running a multi-agent system. Searches for Claude Code subagents grew over 600% in the second quarter of this year alone. So let's look at what's actually happening when you fire one off. You give it a goal. A lead agent plans, breaks the job into independent subtasks, and spawns workers without waiting for each one to finish. Fan out, then fan in, then synthesize. Reported throughput on the right class of task is 3 to 5 times. Codex does the same thing in the cloud. Queue 3 to 5 tasks, each in its own sandbox. And notice one thing, because it comes back later. The workers don't talk to each other. Every result routes back through the lead agent because the lead agent is the only thing holding the whole plan. But here's the part that actually makes it work, and it is not a prompting trick. Every subagent gets its own Git worktree, a separate checkout of the repo, its own working directory, its own isolated context window, its own restricted tool permissions. 2 agents can't collide on the same file because they aren't looking at the same file. Hold that thought. They didn't parallelize the writes. They made the writes not touch, then merged at the end deliberately through Git. Remember it, because in about 4 minutes, it turns into the rule that explains everything else. Second system, completely different bet. On the 11th of August, Grok Bot. It doesn't give you an agent, it gives you a fleet, an executive assistant, a developer, a Slack watcher, each one named. And each one gets its own persistent cloud computer, its own logins, and it keeps running when your laptop is shut. Delegation is the clever bit. Every agent has a name, a title, and a written description, and that description isn't cosmetic. When an agent hits something outside its scope, it reads the other agent's descriptions and forwards the task to whichever one matches. Routing by natural language, no hard-coded graph. And watch how it fights fragmentation. Connect Gmail once through one agent, and every other agent on the account inherits that connection. Point it at a notes repo, and every agent built afterwards starts with that context instead of from zero. Isolated compute, shared substrate, different answer, same underlying problem. Third system, and it's the one that argues with the other two. Hermes agent from Nous research, MIT licensed, self-hostable, around 232,000 stars on GitHub. It looks at this same problem and refuses to split the agent at all. There is one agent core. Every surface, the CLI, the desktop app, 20 plus messaging gateways, the API server, routes through that same core. Behavior in Telegram is behavior in the terminal. And what it parallelizes isn't agents, it's tool calls, a thread pool up to 8 workers, all reporting back into one unbroken context. Memory is 3 tiers. SOUL.md is immutable, the agent's fixed voice. User.md and memory.md are short, and the agent edits them itself. And then the piece that matters most. After finishing a complex task, it writes itself a reusable skill. Next time that skill runs, it revises it. Most systems check their work once and forget. This one writes the lesson down. Park that too. It's about to matter a lot. Okay, 3 systems, 3 different bets. Now let's name what we've been looking at. Underneath all of it is one primitive. A single agent is a loop. Model gets a goal, picks a tool, reads the result, decides what's next. Round, and everything it has ever seen sits in one context window. That last part is the entire argument. Break that loop and you get the shape we drew in the first teardown. It has a name. Orchestrator-worker, hub and spoke. One lead holds the plan, specialists do the work, nothing goes sideways between them. That's Claude Code. That's Codex. That's the research systems the 90% number came from. And it's one of roughly 7 patterns people actually deploy. Supervisor routing, where a classifier picks which specialist owns the request. That's Grok Bot's description matching. Retrieval grounded agents, human in the loop gates on anything irreversible, evaluation loops, and audit plane recording who did what. Real systems are never one pattern, they're 2 or 3 stacked. So why split at all? 2 reasons. Only 2 that survive contact with production. First, context. Some jobs need more material than fits in any single window. 4 agents each reading a quarter of the corpus and reporting a summary is a compression trick. You're spending 4 contexts to fill 1. Second, wall clock time. Genuinely independent branches run faster at once. That's it. That's the whole list. And if your reason isn't on that list, you're about to meet the research. because that 90.2% needs 3 asterisks and the headlines gave it 0. 1 is the company's own internal evaluation, not a public leaderboard. 2 is a research task, breadth first search across independent sources. 3, the comparison is the same model working alone. Change anyone and the number stops traveling. And here's the rule nobody reposts. When academics measured multi-agent frameworks against public benchmarks, the finding was that gains are often minimal, not negative, minimal. That's a different planet from 90%. And it's the planet most teams are building on. But that same group did something more useful than another leaderboard. 1,600 annotated execution traces, 7 popular frameworks, and a catalog of exactly how these systems break. 14 failure modes, 3 families. Family 1, system design. Bad routing, no error handling, agents fighting over the same resource. Family 2, inter-agent misalignment, communication breakdowns, agents quietly optimizing for conflicting objectives. Coordination that just drifts. Family 3, task verification. Nobody checked the output, so one early mistake rode all the way down the chain. And the conclusion is the line I want you to write down. Most of these are not the model being dumb. They are organizational design failures. You built a bad company and you staffed it with language models. Now go back to our 3 systems because every one of them is an engineered answer to one of those families. Grok Bot's shared substrate, that's family 2. Hermes writing a skill and revising it, that's family 3, made permanent. And Claude Code handing every worker its own worktree and its own permission set, that's family 1, resource contention, deleted. They quantified the payoff too. An uncoordinated system can amplify a single error up to 17 times as it travels down the chain. Add a centralized architecture with a validation bottleneck, and that falls to about 4.4. Same models, a factor of 4 bought with nothing but structure. So, one system splits into a fleet, one refuses to split at all, and one splits aggressively into right-shaped work. The exact thing you're told not to parallelize. Who's wrong? Nobody. Look at the shape of the task. Research is red-shaped. 10 agents can read one corpus at once and nothing collides. Worst case, duplicate nodes. Software is right-shaped. 2 agents editing one codebase, and every implicit decision one makes becomes a constraint on the other, and neither knows it. Parallelise reads, serialize writes. That's the rule. And all 3 systems are that rule wearing different costumes. Grok Bot separates agents that work on different things. Different inboxes, repos, jobs, nothing to collide. Hermes keeps one agent and parallelizes only tool calls, the reads, inside one unbroken context. And Claude Code and Codex take right-shaped work and manufacture independence. A worktree each, a context each, a permission set each, then one deliberate merge. Which upgrades the rule, and this is the actual takeaway. Parallelize reads, serialize writes, or isolate them. Read-shaped work gets that isolation free. Write-shaped work has to buy it. A work tree, a sandbox, a branch, a queue. And if you're splitting write-shaped work without paying for isolation, you haven't built a team, you've built a race condition with a system prompt. Last thing, the money, because this is where pilots die. Your cost is not the sum of the worker calls. On top of every worker call, the orchestrator pays to decompose the task and pays again to aggregate the results. Add one retry and you've paid for the decomposition twice. It's why I reported 40% of multi-agent pilots don't survive 6 months in production. And here's a real receipt, caveat stated plainly. 1 person, 1 run, not a controlled benchmark. A security audit driven end-to-end by an agent. $4.63, 1.42 million tokens, 5 minutes and 4 seconds. That's the unit of account now. Not tokens per second, dollars per finished job. So, 4 rules. 1. Start with a single agent and better tools. Multi-agent is what you escalate to, not what you begin with. 2. Only split on genuinely independent branches, and if they aren't independent, go buy the isolation, a worktree, a sandbox, a queue. 3. Put a validator on every agent boundary, and if you can, make it persist. That's your 4.4 instead of 17. 4. Price the orchestrator, not just the workers, and price it at production volume. That's it. Every number is sourced in the description, tagged vendor reported, independent, or single run. Because on this topic, that distinction does a lot of work. If this was useful, subscribe and tell me in the comments what shape your task is. See you in the next one.